Good evening, welcome. We are sorry we are 8 minutes behind schedule. It's due to some technical issues we had and some unforeseen circumstances with our team in Europe. And we are glad you have joined. If you are with us, let me know. Today's topic is focus and results. Focus can be defined as singleness of purpose when it comes to capacity building, capacity development, and functionality. Singleness of purpose. And it is best exemplified by Paul that said, "This one thing I do. I keep pressing forward towards the mark of higher calling." So, when you do that, it is like taking a magnifying glass. When you take a magnifying glass and bring it outside and put the focal point on a piece of paper, the magnifying glass will concentrate the energy of the sun on that paper, and the temperature will increase 100 times. That is to say, if the environmental temperature is 37 degrees centigrade, the temperature at the focal point will be 3,700 degrees centigrade. So the paper ignites. William Thayer wrote in his book, Gaining Favor with God and Mind on Singleness of Purpose, he said that singleness of purpose took possession of his soul, and all the powers of his nature combined and bent to his accomplishment. That is when you concentrate all your energy, all your talents, all your giftings towards achieving a specific goal. So you will become triumphant. Singleness of purpose produces results because your energy, your resources, your time, your personnel are not dissipated. You don't spread your energy all over the place. Why most people don't do well in life is that they spread their energies and their resources and their talents and their capacities over too many activities without achieving results. You can have a big goal and have small activities before that goal. When you concentrate your energy on these small goals towards attaining this project in the small units where you concentrate your energies, you will find out that they will combine together to propel you to a higher goal. Let me give you an example, because if you don't understand what I'm saying clearly, you would think that it's just facing only one thing. I was running a school, I was writing books, I was doing ministry, traveling ministry, and what else was I doing? I think I was investing, I was building. So all my energies were concentrated on writing books. When I write the books are the things I will travel with alongside my CDs that will bring money to build the school, that will bring money to do other projects I wanted to do, to build this residence. But all my energies were concentrated on whatever I was doing. I met a very rich man recently, said he had no social life, that he concentrated his energy in building the life he has now. So he doesn't go out much, but people come to see him. When I was with him, the governor was coming to see him. The commissioner was there. So spend the energy manufacturing yourself and people will be attracted towards you. So the other thing about focus is that focus must go with persistence of vision, perseverance. Perseverance. Christopher Columbus was such that he was trying to discover the new world, and he was with his crew members, and they said that they were about to rebel, mutiny, and he said, let us sail for 3 days. If we don't see the new land, the new world, then we can turn back. That period of the 3 days, that perseverance, the 3 days, they saw America. They could have turned back. So singleness of purpose includes perseverance. And I will say one more thing, then I will take your questions. There was a man who wanted to be the king of Scotland. And one day, when he was at his deepest moment, his name is Robert Bruce. When he was at his deepest moment, he was lying face up in a cave, and he saw a spider trying to spread its silk to the other end of the cave. The spider did it once, failed, 2 times failed, 5 times failed, 6th time failed, succeeded in the 7th attempt. So people believe that the 7th attempt is a sign of focus and is a sign of perseverance that leads to results. Many people get easily offended, easily tired, easily discouraged, easily disillusioned with the first failure, second failure, third failure, 6th failure. But try the 7th time. It requires people like this who try the 7th time to succeed. William Taylor wrote here that he learned that the value of the 7th effort was the greatest of all. Indeed, all previous efforts were valueless without it. That last effort, that last push is very, very important. That's the difference between Graham Bell and Naes. Naes started the project for the invention of telephone. He got to a point and stopped, but Naes pressed it a little bit further, and then he touched the diaphragm, and you could communicate clearly because of that singular effort, the last minute effort. And if I will quote Malcolm Gladwell in his book, The Outliers, he called it the 10,000 hour rule. That is, most people you see who do well in life have put in about 10,000 hours consistently to reach that point. You hardly succeed suddenly. We fail many times, then we continue. We refuse to be discouraged. We refuse to be dissuaded. We refuse to be distracted. We continue, and then we reach the mark of higher calling. And we can say, like Paul, I fought a good fight. I'm waiting for the crown that is awaiting me. So that is the results that come from focus. You can't get anything without focus. Focus on constantly improving yourself, constantly improving your services, constantly looking for new ideas to add, innovation, constantly motivating yourself to achieve a particular end. When I talk with my wife, she says, you have always wanted to live like this. And I'm concentrating on it, and I'm doing it regularly. So that is it. I will take your questions now. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. We just have one question for now. Okay, it's not really related to the topic we have at hand. So thanks for the presentation. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What is the question?
The question is related to investment, so I don't think it's related necessary for this the presentation we have.
Is there any other question?
They are coming in.
We can take his question until.
Okay, the question is, what growth industries do you think we should focus on?
What growth industries should you focus on?
Yeah.
It's very difficult to give somebody an advice on areas of investment. Number one, it depends on where you are. depends on the country you are based in. It depends on the locality, the needs, the problems, the solutions. I mean, the needs, the problems that you need to provide solutions for, the services you need to render that people are demanding. You cannot focus your energy on something that is not demanded or needed by people. Then you cannot concentrate your energy on something that has expired. If I start focusing on typing with a typewriter now and type 1 million words per minute, it's not relevant. Relevance is importance for now. So you must consider what is relevant now. I was in the farm, I was farming, I started this ministry service from the farm. The prices of some of my products have increased, but I am reaching the world more, creating more services to people, more good to people now. So I delegated that. So we'll go back to Pareto principle. Pareto principle that states that 80% of your efforts will bring 20% returns, while 20% of your efforts will bring 80% returns. So look at whatever is in your environment that you have tried or you are willing to try. That area that gives you maximum productivity, concentrate and focus on that. The next thing, what is it that you are good at? Because if you are not good at a thing, it is difficult to break some certain glass ceilings of excellence. Then what are you passionate about? If you are not passionate about a thing, you cannot persevere. You see, you have to be passionate about whatever you do. I saw my wife today in the school there. We went for our school graduation at our second school at Okokoko. My wife was very happy. She was dancing. She was excited. And I could see the joy she was getting from her initial desire to become a teacher. And it is this joy she has with children that made her to establish this school with me. And the schools are growing because she's passionate about it. She loves it. And then my daughter was also very excited. We used to get masters of ceremonies before, but she acted as the master of ceremony and did it very well because that's her area of study, that's her area of excellence. So find your area of comparative advantage. Malthus' theory of comparative advantage states that people and nations should concentrate on the areas where they have comparative advantage. So that's the answer. Concentrate on your areas of comparative advantage, your areas where you are passionate, areas where you have more talent, areas where you have more productivity, areas where there is greatest need for your services and people are willing to pay. Thank you.
Okay, I have a question. I think we've discussed this before. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay, so as humans, our resources are limited. And what is the difference? Someone said insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. What is the difference between focus and when should we learn to give up? Okay, I wouldn't necessarily say give up. When should we learn to focus our resources
You
on
asked me
something
that
else?
question many years back.
Yeah, I know.
What is the difference between perseverance and stagnation?
Yeah.
Not so?
Yes.
The difference between perseverance and stagnation, when you are not pressing forward, I keep pressing forward. Where there is no improvement in your person, there's no improvement in your state, there's no improvement in your status, there's no improvement in your finances, there's no improvement in your satisfaction. Then you are, and then comparatively to other things that other people you started life with, if you are not dynamic, you are not moving at a pace that compares to your ability, compares to the resources available, compares to the timing you are existing in, then you are stagnated. And when you are frustrated, is part of stagnation. But when you are producing results and the results bring joy to you, and commendation and recommendation, then there is conviction that this is my area of functionality. And then you still put in more effort. You don't invest in what does not produce results. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Is there any other question?
We have none for now.
So for those of you who are here, remember we have August 2nd and August 3rd for our online webinar. The topic is making global impact, purposeful living, and financial independence. It promises to be a wonderful time. If there are no questions, do we call it quits? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. There are no questions. Okay, we just had one now. As a young man who had a business administration and management in degree and could not find a job at this time in Central Europe, what should be the focus? What should I focus on at this time, and how should I move? Or should I move to somewhere else?
The first thing is ask yourself, what are the dividends of your knowledge? What did you study? What did you gain from management and business administration? It is not enough to have certification. If you have certification and it becomes the circumference of your life or becomes a sentence, no matter where you move to, you might not do well, even if you get a job. Because job is just being over broke. The concept of going to school just to gain a job is sometimes very limiting. So, if you still want to pursue the job area, there are new areas that you must add to business administration and management studies, and that's IT. Number one, if you study cyber security, you can study cyber security, add it. You can work from home. If you study data analysis, they can outsource data for you to analyze. If you study digital marketing, there are so many things in the digital space and in the digital area, information AI and information technology, that you can add to your management courses, and then you have a two-pronged approach to rendering service to people. And you see, the good thing with IT is that it has a universal language. Then you ask yourself, what is in the internet that I can use my brain to do? What knowledge can I sell in the internet through a YouTube channel, TikTok, Facebook, whatever? Then the next thing is look at the Eastern or Western Europe where you are in. What needs do the people have? There's somebody who is into food distribution in Eastern Europe or Western Europe. One of the boys that became a millionaire at a very early age in the UK was into cleaning. And then if you know how to audit accounts, they can outsource accounts to you to audit. But most importantly, acquire a new skill, a new set of skills to add to what you have to make you more marketable. Look for what is in demand, then at the same time, look for solutions you can provide in your country of residence. I give you an example. A young man in Italy that I used to mentor wanted to buy a car, and when he listened to me, decided to buy a truck. So he started a company moving. When people want to move from move goods and services from one place to the other, they contact him. He pays and he moves the goods to the next place. Maybe you want to leave your apartment, you want to carry furniture to one place and all that. And the truck was giving him money and he was doing well. So be creative and innovative in your thinking, and you will find out that you might not necessarily need to work for somebody. Instead, you might be providing services that people are ready to pay for.
Okay, another question. How do we address the lack of focus of youths in this current day?
The lack of focus of the youth, how do we address it?
Yes.
It's a personal choice. It's a personal choice. If you are a parent, you start early to indoctrinate this capacity to focus on your children very early by living it out. Then you see, I have a friend who is a consultant in 3 areas of medicine. His 13-year-old daughters at that time had no phone. But in Africa here, once children are going to secondary schools, the parents will buy very expensive Android phones for them that they want to be contacting them. Instead, what you are supposed to do ideally is to get the phone number of the teacher or the supervisor of the school and call them. So we sometimes we provide the avenues for distraction. Then number 2, most times we befriend our children too closely that they don't have regard for us. You must be a parent, you must be a father, you must be a mother, in as much as Ufoma is my very good friend, he's my son, but he knows that I'm his father because there are boundaries I drew for him very early in life, all his brothers and their sister. So we must also create a vision for our children. My father created a vision for me. At one time, Dr. Ofoma asked me, must he get a PhD? I told him, Dr. Ofoma is better than Engineer Ofoma. So you must keep redirecting their minds to what is ideal for them. But the Bible says, train up a child. That is shanan, to sharpen, to mold, to cast, to shapen, and direct in a particular area. So, and then as parents, we must provide that model, that mold, that motivation for our children so that they are not distracted. And we must set targets for them. Set targets for yourself. I am 65 now. I want to celebrate. I gave myself that my 70th birthday will be celebrated in Petra Institute, Efronto. So that has gingered me to work harder, to move at a faster pace. So you must set targets for yourself, set targets for your children, and then make friends with visionary people. Make friends with visionary people, attend a church where vision is emphasized, and have a mentor that can always redirect you. A crazy mentor that does not care whether you are offended or not, that can redirect you and concentrate your resources and energies on a definite goal. I will share a video of a young girl that was preaching in my school today at Okokoko. And she was talking about raising up young children in an upside down environment. That video, I think I've shared it, is very, very instructive from a young child. Yes. The Yorubas have a saying, that Bible passage that says, foolishness abounds in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction will drive it away. In the Yoruba Bible says, were. I don't know if there's any Yoruba person might help me complete it. Were pojunori ọmọ kékeré, but the rod of correction will drive it away. Where in Yoruba means insanity, that there's craziness in the mind of a child, but the rod of correction will drive it away. I found out that many of the children of the aristocrats, the elites, they are more focused than the children from middle class families and from poor families. Unlike our time. Yes, sir.
Okay, another question. In a situation where you have lots of opportunities and fear is a factor, what is the best way to go forward and focus?
When you have a lot of opportunities
Lot,
as what?
lots of opportunities.
As a pastor?
No, in a specific field.
Okay. You see, most people who are multi-talented and have lots of opportunities are like people who are pursuing zebra. If you pursue zebra, the zebra have an attitude. They run zigzag. When they run zigzag, the predator is not able to concentrate. And when lions want to catch a prey or a zebra, they don't follow the random movement. They concentrate on one zebra and pursue that zebra until they grab it. When you have many opportunities, ask yourself, what are the low-hanging fruits? I have mango here, I have avocado here, I have oranges here, an orange here. There are low-hanging fruits, the ones that you don't need to stretch to pluck. Don't follow the sophistication and your mates and all that. If there are the low-hanging fruits, harvest those low-hanging fruits, the one you can easily invest in, maximize, excel, and grow in. Start with that one, then you can now diversify into the other opportunities. If not, if you are looking at all the opportunities at the same time, you will be dizzy. You will get intellectually dizzy. You might not be able to achieve results. That's why there are very many intelligent, multi-talented people, and people with many opportunities don't do well in life. Just focus on the low-hanging fruits. Harvest them. As you harvest them and you develop financial ladder, you develop financial poles to pull them down. Then you start climbing up the social ladder, the economic ladder, the political ladder, the intellectual ladder to harvest those other fruits that are higher. But don't negate the one you started with.
Okay.
Okay.
Those are all the questions we have. I think we can wrap up.
Okay. So thank you so much for joining. Remember to subscribe to this channel. We need to reach the 100,000 subscriber mark. I think by the end of today, we should be 90,000 subscriber mark, which must have reached there. Help me share these videos. Help subscribe, encourage people to subscribe, and then register for the webinar that is coming up on the 2nd and on the 3rd of August, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. God bless you for tuning in. I remain your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. Remember, the number to send a message to again is +234 7052 136763. Au revoir.